Bayonetta 3 was a goddamn mess, to me at least. From the deeply unsatisfying kaiju battles, sidelining of Jean, the voice actor controversy, and the ending, which, to be honest, if you played Bayonetta for the plot, I'm not sure exactly why you were here. But suffice to say, no part of Bayonetta 3 drew bigger criticism than Viola, the new Protagonist of the game that was set up to take the reins of the franchise, all while being widely rejected by the user base. Now, if you don't know, I'm quite the positive contrarian around here. Hell, in the last few months, I defended Starfield Shattered Space and said that the Veilguard is a dark game. Believe me, I know how to find the positives in something. But we all need to let loose now and again, so let me score internet points by trashing on this absolute joke of a character that 20 years later gave me the same emotion Metal Gear Solid fans must have felt when they played as Raiden, and then we'll talk about how Platinum can dig themselves out of this hole. Let's start with the fact that Viola is the worst thing a character in a Bayonetta game can be. Fully clothed. No, generic. Which, to be fair, is a massive achievement for a punk. The punk aesthetic is easily one of the most diverse and malleable cliches a character can be. Their rebellious nature means the only rule for their design is to be unconventional. Sounds simple enough for the franchise that gave us gun-high heels. Yet somehow Viola is the most cliché punk I've ever seen. Purple lipstick, eyeliner, and tips with a black leather jacket, really rejecting society there, Viola, not at all playing into the tropes associated with your character's archetype. What's weird is that this isn't a game issue. The alternate universe forms of Bayonetta are stunning. Look at this J-pop VTubing queen. The mishmash of style with a soothing color scheme. It's like they knocked it out of the park with Bayonetta and her variants, and for one of the main characters, they just threw something together. But you should never insult someone for how they look. You should insult them for the things they can't change about themselves. That way your words hurt more. What do we love about Bayonetta as a character? Her confidence, her swagger, her classiness combined with her cheekiness, the elegance she exudes with every movement, that dichotomy between sophisticated and slutty, a veritable Mary Sue. That's what made this character so appealing to play as. So who in their right mind wants to play as a brash, inexperienced, crude, temperamental rocker girl with no subtlety or hidden meaning, someone who reacts to everything with explosive rage, a flat-out immature character who's the polar opposite of what we've come to love about our protagonist? It's a baffling decision. It's like Kamiya looked at DMC and said, wow, look at how they desecrated my beloved character by turning him into a younger, crass version of himself. I should do that with my new character. Surely this will end well. But like I said at the top, you should not be playing Bayonetta for the story. You should be playing for the combat. And this is the greatest sin Viola could possibly commit. I don't like video games with multiple protagonists. Well, I don't like games with multiple protagonists that have different playstyles, because it's impossible for me not to prefer one over the other, and then I think, damn it, I wish I could have played the whole game as them. Why did I have to waste time playing as this other character? Where Devil May Cry 5 messed up by giving Dante maybe the best combat he's ever had, then splitting his game up with V and Nero, Bayonetta 3 screws up by giving us the biggest move pool Bayonetta has ever had, and then making her share half the game with a character with only one weapon. The amount of weapons and demons you unlock in Bayonetta 3 is done at a blistering pace, and some of these ideas are glorious. You get to kill things with a train and a clock tower. That is pure gold, and there are 10 weapons in total you get to use as Bayonetta. Viola only has her 2 starting weapons, and you won't unlock any more over the course of the whole game. Yet you're expected to play half of a 10-hour game as a character with literally 5 times less options than another one. This is the worst thing about Viola. Most bad characters are lucky enough to only ruin the story. Viola is a character that ruins the gameplay by robbing the titular character of half of her game, in her grand finale when she has more moves than she's ever had before. What's worse is that they've definitively killed off Cereza and passed down the mantle of Bayonetta to Viola, giving her the reins of the franchise's future. How can they possibly fix this character for the inevitable sequel? Easily. Remember at the start of the video when I compared her to another much maligned character from a generation before mine? Well, that character is now one of the most badass protagonists this medium has ever seen, thanks in part to a game developed by Platinum, and all they had to do was rip him to pieces and rebuild him as the stupidestly cool thing they could imagine. There is no reason the same can't apply to Viola. I fully expect Bayonetta 4 to have completely reinvented the character and give her a stunning new design and attitude more befitting of her lineage. After all, Cereza was dramatically redesigned between each installment, so there's no reason her daughter will be any different. I'll be back in 2 days. In the meantime, here's a video about the incredible ending of Resident Evil 2.